Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 2 of my weight loss journey. Today's weigh-in is 343 pounds. After weighing myself, I went and wrote my daily affirmation. I'm writing 180 of these over the next 6 months and posting them on my mirror so that when I need a source of motivation, I can come in here and look at messages from myself. Today's message is progress over perfect. This is a really important reminder for me because sometimes I get bogged down in the numbers or how I'm looking when I'm trying to lose weight, when in reality, your body might not be changing much as you're losing fat. That's another reason that these progress pictures here are so important so that we can see just how far we've come at the end of the 6 months. Having a hard time getting out of bed this morning on day 2. This little miss just wants me to stay in bed all day, and what am I supposed to do? Alright, so, day 2. Let's talk about it. I don't feel great. Mobility-wise, I'm not that sore from yesterday's workout, which is a plus. At least, I guess we'll find out when we get into our stretch and our workout for today, how sore I really am. I definitely pushed myself really hard yesterday. So I think we're going to change up the routine a bit and still meet the goals that I have for myself in terms of how far I'm walking and what I'm eating. But just switching up the times that I'm doing things to hopefully protect my body a bit better. So I'm going to go start the day with breakfast today. And hopefully by eating before 11:30, I'll actually be able to get all my meals in. And I'm probably going to reduce the size of my breakfast because I found that after eating all that food yesterday, I just was like bloated and slow and pretty lethargic. So some of that might come down to what I'm eating, and I'm going to be changing up my diet throughout this whole endeavor quite a bit. But yeah, the major changes I'm making today is I'm starting with breakfast, and I might break my walk into 2 sessions. That way I don't hopefully develop blisters on my feet like I did yesterday. I'm going to use Band-Aids on them, I guess, and hopefully that will help, but we'll see. If you guys watched yesterday's video, you saw me make the entirety of my breakfast, so I'm not going to go through all that again. Some modifications I'm making, I think I'm going to go down to 2 whole eggs and 2 egg whites for the omelet because we had 3 whole eggs and 4 egg whites yesterday, and it was just a lot. And I'm also going to cut my oats down to half a cup of oats instead of a full cup. And even though calorically this is less than my original goal, I think that this will, A, not make me feel so full throughout the day, and B, allow me to eat the rest of my meals at normal meal times, which, we'll figure out the calorie thing as we go. But as long as I'm in a deficit, at least that's going to get the ball rolling with weight loss. And hopefully we can find a way to make our meals more calorically dense and less volume, which is actually counterintuitive. Normally you want to add as much volume as possible, especially, with my specific eating disorder of binge eating. You'd think that would be a good thing, but the types of foods that I'm eating are just really satiating, and so I think this is going to be a good adjustment. But I'm going to go ahead and make breakfast, and we'll check back in with you when we're eating. Also, in yesterday's video, you guys didn't see me make my lunch, which was chicken, lettuce, Caesar dressing wraps. And I had to prep the chicken ahead of time because I was streaming and launching the Kickstarter campaign. So I figured since I'm already cooking breakfast, I'll just pop the chicken in the air fryer now. And then when it comes time to make lunch, I just have to assemble the wraps. So optimizing my routine right now. So I ended up leaving my other half of a banana out, but most of it's fine. I'm just going to take this part off, but I'm going to try to supplement since I have less than half a banana with some grapes and still get some fruit into my breakfast. So other than the chicken, which is in the air fryer, breakfast is done. Like, it's pretty crazy how quick and easy this breakfast is versus like the macros and calories and taste of it all. So I'm just going to add some peanut butter and honey to my oatmeal, wash and put a few grapes on my plate, and we'll be done. Alright, so the modifications I made today, because of my lack of banana, which I've heard that before, I added some grapes to the plate to still get some fruit and calories, and a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese, which I figured would probably be good with the eggs. And obviously we're still doing the supplements, so creatine, a daily vitamin, and fish oil. So I'm just going to eat and enjoy breakfast. It's day 2, and I'm already sick of eggs. I'm going to have to go to the grocery store and figure out a different plan, because eggs every day ain't it. Alright, so as I mentioned, I have some pretty bad blisters on my toes from walking yesterday, so my lovely assistant and wife is going to put some Band-Aids over them. I know they make blister Band-Aids, but I don't own those, so we're going to hope that this stays on while I walk and helps at all. Well, I know you put it on the right spot because it hurt.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I almost pushed on it and I was like, this might hurt, but I don't know if it hurts and I can't ask him.
As long as it's on there as tight as you can get it, I'm sure that's fine. Oh. I also hate people touching my toes, so this is like...
torture.
Yeah.
Those aren't going to stay on.
What do you mean they're not going to stay on?
Because you're moist all the time.
Well...
Your toes are already moist.
Oh my gosh, how is that even possible? As I can't get off the couch. How am I going to get anything done? Look at this. What kind of father would I be to walk away from this right now? Well, I got time. Some combination of the Band-Aids on my toes, different socks, and older, more beat-in shoes is making this a relatively pain-free experience. So today on my walk and journey to get 10,000 steps, I'm just going to approach it a little bit slower, and if I need to break it up into 2 sessions, then that's what I'm going to do. But I've also decided all steps should be counted equally. So yesterday I talked about how if I didn't knock out my 10,000 steps in the gym, that I might not get them. And so I was overly ambitious and did them all on the treadmill, not counting the steps to and from the gym, plus the steps around the house and whatnot. So I probably did closer to about 14,000 steps yesterday when my goal is 10, which is great, except when it starts to injure your feet. So I've got the pedometer going, and the goal for this outing is just to hopefully make it to 10,000 before stopping, but I'm going to listen to my body and play it safe. That way I can keep coming out here and working hard every day. Aside from that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Let me know in the comments how your own personal health and wellness journeys are going. I wasn't able to eat all of my breakfast because more eggs just sounded nauseating. So I still haven't figured out the food part of everything yet. But I'm gonna go to the grocery store later today during my working hours so I can pick up some of the other ingredients I need for some of the other recipes that I have planned out to meet my calorie goals. But for now, I'll catch up with you guys once I'm at the gym. So we are coming to the end of the walk. I've got about 2,500 steps left to get to 10,000. I'm gonna end here at 9 because it's another 1,000 back to the house. Hopefully not gonna regret pushing myself today, you know. I definitely feel it in my feet right now. I'm a little worried about those blisters, but otherwise I'm feeling pretty good. Time's been flying by. I've been walking for about 77 minutes so far. I think the most frustrating part of this experience and getting started, as I've said in my last video, is just feeling like I'm capable of doing more, but having to accept that my body isn't, and still balancing between pushing myself to work hard without injuring myself. That way we can keep coming out here and working. But yeah, ultimately, no problem today. I think the Band-Aids did the trick, and it's looking like we're gonna get another 10,000 steps knocked out for day 2. My main plan for exercise, at least in this first month, is a minimum of 10,000 steps walking every day and some form of strength training 5 times a week to hopefully build muscle, but also just add to the calories I've burned throughout the day. As we progress, every other month I'm going to add in some form of exercise. So for example, next month that might be swimming. As we get closer to the end of the 6 months, I signed up for a 5K in November, so we're gonna have to start implementing some running and practicing for that, which should be easier to do as I've lost some weight. So right now, we're building a good base with this level of activity. It feels achievable, although my body is definitely rebelling. I have finished the 9,000 steps to the gym and on the treadmill, and I'm now embarking on my last 1,000 steps home. And actually my feet feel better than they did at the end of the workout yesterday, with exception of the calluses that I have, the blisters, I should say, rather. They're a little hot, for lack of better words, so hopefully we'll get home, take a shower. We won't have done any kind of irreversible damage before, the walk again tomorrow morning, but feeling pretty good. I still got this amazing pool that's been taunting me on my walks, so I think I'm gonna have to take a dip in that later today. Hopefully I can convince the wife to come down with me and we can enjoy a nice day at the pool. Overall, I'm super excited to get started with my weight loss, which is motivating me to push through the pain and push my body to its limit in order to burn as many calories as possible. But it's important to reflect on, it's not an overnight thing. I've accumulated this mass and this weight over the course of 10 years. So it would be foolish to think that, in a couple of weeks of exercising and eating right, I could undo the damage that I've done. That being said, I do think it's also pretty crazy that I've lived obese for 10 years of my life, when in reality, it'll probably only take 1 year of hard work and consistency to lose the weight and be in a much healthier position. So stay motivated, take things one day at a time. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give myself grace for things that aren't working out exactly how I thought they would, and just doing the best I can each day. All right, not sure if you can see what that says, but that's 10,000 steps done, and I'm about to be back at the house. So, good work today, everyone. I have developed a habit of collapsing in bed every time that I shower, and it is not good because the temptation to just lie here and let the sleep take me is overbearing. So, I gotta get up, but it's hard. Okay, so after a short break in the bed, I've managed to pull myself out of it, and it's time for lunch before I sit down and work on a few things. I realized I didn't cover in great detail in yesterday's video what I was doing for lunches, so it's pretty simple. I've just got a tortilla here, which is a carb balanced flour tortilla, and during breakfast, I pre-made some air-fried chicken tenderloin, chicken tenders, either way. And then I have just some romaine lettuce that I'm gonna take some leaves off of and cut up. Hi, Penny. You heard the food? Come here. Oh, she ran away. And then for the dressing on the wraps, I'm using a light Caesar dressing mixed with equal parts of non-fat plain Greek yogurt to make like a creamy sauce for the wraps. Yesterday I had 2, but I only have enough chicken for 1 today. Plus I'm not really that hungry, so I'm just gonna make 1 for today and figure out the rest of my calories later, I guess. I'm in the kitchen filming for today's video, but look at this. I have an assistant who is working very diligently to supervise me making lunch. So I don't need a lot for these wraps, so I'm just adding like a tablespoon's worth of each of these dressings. But it's pretty tasty. It's basically a low-calorie hack for a creamy Caesar dressing. And instead of just getting the creamy Caesar version, you just make it creamy by adding, you know, the low-fat or non-fat Greek yogurt. And there you have it. Like, honestly, I would eat this sauce on anything. Like, any kind of protein, any kind of rice bowl. Like, it's that good. But I'm just going to go ahead and lay some out on our tortilla. Take my chicken, which is 5 ounces of chicken, by the way. And then I already washed this romaine lettuce yesterday. So now I can just rip off what I need for the wrap. This is going to be lunch for today. And I was going to go to the grocery store later, but I'm a little nervous to now just because of the blisters on my feet. I have an injury that I'm nursing, so I want to be careful. But worst case, I have everything that I need to make dinner later. So this is the wrap, and yeah, bite into it here and give you guys an idea of what we're working with. Very tasty. One other thing that I'm doing that I didn't mention in yesterday's video is I am trying to supplement with my electrolytes with elements. Not affiliated in any way, but I do like their flavors and the brand. And just because I'm expelling so much water through all this physical exercise and activity, I am trying to be on the safer side. I have felt some cramps starting, and so I'm trying to drink as much water as possible and stay hydrated with the added electrolytes. It's good. So I have finished lunch. I'm still sipping on my hydration drink, and I'm going to take the next hour or so to finish up yesterday's video and get it posted online. And with any extra time I have for my working hours today, I'm going to figure out what to do about my meal plan, because these first couple of days have been rough, and I would really like to transition into meal prepping. I have meal prepping containers already, so if I can figure out some recipes that I think I'll enjoy that meet my needs calorically, then I'm going to go to the grocery store and shop for the ingredients I need to do that.
Wifey here with the tablespoon and a tablespoon.
After yesterday's video, we got to thinking maybe, and you know what? That's even a bigger spoon than the one I
didn't
was
realize
using.
he was using the small spoon, which all of them are.
Even the small spoon.
Yeah. So water-wise, it didn't quite fill a tablespoon, but with peanut butter, you don't get it flat. So I'm going to do what I do when I'm measuring a tablespoon, and then we're going to compare what it is like for a tablespoon.
In a normal tablespoon.
Yeah. So.
And then
now, obviously not that, but then I'll like wipe it off like that, usually.
So in her mind, show it closer to the camera. That is a tablespoon. So let's see what it is.
We're going to get real scientific here, okay?
Well, remember that my spoon was also small. Ain't no way! Oh, no, you're going to smooth it out, too.
Yeah.
We're not making this look like it's full.
Okay. It is definitely under.
Yeah, why don't you get a close-up on that?
I gotta scrape it all off. I said I need a spoonful of peanut butter. Okay. So, there's still some left on here.
Penny wants the peanut butter.
It was not a full tablespoon.
No, it was not. It was like a half. That's why I'm glad we measured it.
You can have a heaping spoonful.
Also, just popping in for the record here, I am absolutely going to eat this tablespoon of peanut butter. So add that into today's calories. All right, so for dinner tonight, I'm having salmon, rice, and Brussels sprouts. And I still have to go do my evening workout, but I figured I might as well get the rice started while I'm in there doing my thing.
Tell them how you don't know how to cook rice.
The only problem is I don't exactly know how to cook rice. I'll be honest, this is like why I use rice pouches in my grocery shopping. But if this works out well, that could be a game changer. Ignore our dirty sink.
Yes.
You never wash your rice?
I don't rinse it. Because I think white rice is enriched.
I saw on YouTube, they said, which as we know is the great source of all information and knowledge, that you're supposed to do this until the water's like clear.
With white rice?
Mm-hmm. Wait, yeah, it was white rice in the video. Alright, I think it's good now though. Now, per my wife's instructions, just kidding, per the book's instructions, she's always right, I'm supposed to fill this to the 1 cup line, so. I don't know why I'm acting like if it's an ounce over, it's gonna be ruined, but. Pot, it's on warm?
Yeah, because it's plugged in.
Oh,
Yep.
Should I not have plugged it in?
And that's fine.
Okay. Alright, so lid on, flip it down to cook, and then you literally just walk away?
Yes, it will boil over some,
Oh.
like boil up, so the lid will be moving a little bit,
Okay.
and then it'll turn itself to warm when it's done.
Does it not bubble up as much and spill if you cook less rice?
Probably.
Yeah, it's a very small rice cooker.
It is.
For
It
a
only
very
makes-
big man.
It only makes 2 cups total.
Well, to be fair though, for my dinner, I've only portioned out 3/4 of a cup. So, out of this, I'm pretty sure it's cooked too. Like, not 3/4 of a cup dry, then cooked. I think it's 3/4 of a cup cooked rice. So that would yield me like 3 meals almost of just this rice. So. All right, it is time for our strength workout on day number 2. We're back on the tonal. I have gone ahead and switched programs from the advanced to a beginner level program. So I'm optimistic that hopefully, even in my poor condition, I'll be able to handle this workout and get through the entirety of it without having to skip any sets. So let's get started. Alright guys, Future Ben here, giving you guys commentary about the workout. Here we are just getting a warm-up in and getting loose before we start lifting the weight. And today went a lot better than day 1.
Give me that 1 to 2 second hold. Spread these fingers apart so I got surface area underneath me. And all we're doing as we bring the bench, hands to the bench, we're just bringing the floor to us, right? So, drop down.
And now we are doing our first main exercise in this block, which is the goblet squat, which I actually don't love squats as far as like core lifts go. In high school, they always hurt my hips because I was a lineman in football, so I was in the squatted position fairly often, but I felt good doing them today. And then here is my all-time favorite lift, the bench press, albeit a bit different with the cables. This is a lift that I could do any day, anywhere, and be happy. Something about it just, it challenges my inner mind and makes me push really hard. And then we did some bodyweight squats, which was fine. But after already doing goblet squats, I was feeling it in my legs pretty good here.
My hands don't really need to stay in the same place that they started. Slide down.
Here is a bonus round of the goblet squats, but with a more enticing angle for you all. Enjoy the visuals here. So now I am on to block 2 of the workout, where we're doing this kneeling overhead press, which was fine. I was a little worried about this because I have an injury in my right shoulder, but it did not inhibit my ability to lift the weight.
Take the palms to face tall off the top, exhale. Beautiful job.
And now the workout, I think everyone thinks is the one that's going to make them look super strong, and that is the bicep curl. This was great. I love arm exercises, it turns out, and I really enjoyed pushing myself with these curls and focusing on my form, but also getting a really good squeeze at the top and trying not to cramp. And then here we just have some cool down after finishing the workout. I didn't show all the sets. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a video where we just show the whole start to finish workout. I'm not sure if that's okay with tonal, but I am definitely down to try and see what happens. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. All right, just finished my workout. That was much more appropriately paced and structured for where I'm at. So the beginner workout was the right decision. I can't feel my arms. It was great though. I was able to push myself. I was able to do all of the sets. So good workout, good weightlifting session. Man, I hope I'm not too sore tomorrow. Whew. Same thing as yesterday. Post-workout protein shake. Got the same stuff. The Ghost Chips Ahoy, 1 scoop for like 6 ounces of water. And I am gonna go take this upstairs with me to the shower. It really is so good. I can't recommend it enough. Not sponsored, but man, I would love that. Y'all, look at this. This right here is dinner. Not only am I so excited to eat this after a long day, it's made even sweeter by the love of my fantastic and amazing wife, who offered to cook it for me, which, you know, I felt pretty guilty about at the time, but it's, I'm not thinking about that right now. She's too good for me, and she offered it. I guess she saw how pathetic I was looking on the couch and said, you know what, let me cook for you. So anyways, y'all, this is pretty much the last thing that I'm doing for my health today, is to make sure I eat this dinner. Later tonight, I'm going to work on today's video and just going to be drinking a lot of water. But after I eat this, I'm kind of done for the day. So I will check back in with you guys later tonight, where we'll wrap up the video. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this delicious meal. So good, man. This Dijon soy sauce,
This is the secret sauce.
It's so good, y'all. If y'all don't know, let me put you on game. Dijon mustard, soy sauce, together. That's it. Dijon mustard has like no calories. Soy sauce is like 10 per tablespoon. And it goes well with, I feel like, everything.
Oh. You need salty.
Which I need salty. That's what my wife's eating. Here, you want me to hold it up?
No.
My wife is eating pork chop and ravioli, which she also cooked. Hey, so I forgot to film an outro for today's video, but I hope you guys enjoyed the inside look at how the day went. Make sure you guys subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!